doozy.
You say that was natural gas?
Well, whatever goes to Johnston's farm there,
Where's that?
just east of his house, or, he doesn't live with him, a guy that
Is this east of town then, or
just blanket on
east of town or north of
the
town?
Mark's brother.
Wayne Johnson?
Wayne,
Oh,
right,
oh, right up here.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's, it goes between Leland and Forest City. It's a lateral.
Won't come over there.
All right, say pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to accept the minutes in the agenda.
Julie has joined.
A motion from Stenzer and a second from Derby to approve the minutes and agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Discussion with possible action regarding COVID-19 policies. Anything new? Julie, you got anything to say?
No, not really, nothing new. We have, had 77 so far tested, 34 have recovered, and 43 are active right now, so. And they don't fall off of our count right now. It used to be every 10 days they would fall off, now it's 28. So that number's kinda a little deceiving right there. So most of those for July should fall off, and I think in July, I said we had 37 cases in the month of July. So,
Julie?
yep,
What's this number they're talking about, this percentage?
for the schools,
Yeah,
it's the average of the 14 days in your spike, and Allison and I were just trying to figure out the last 14 days, actually right before I got on. And for them to close the schools to do online, they have to, in 14 days, the spike has to be 15%. And we just figured the last 14 days, and it was at 5.5.
alright.
So, I know she's meeting this afternoon with a couple of the superintendents again, I believe on all the schools this afternoon again. And, Waldorf, we've been working with them too.
You track that logistically too?
Yeah, the state will, and, Allison said that most of the Waldorf kids are gonna use Winnebago County as their home base, cause that's where they spend most of their time going to college, so.
Even within Winnebago County, you track where the cluster, if there is a cluster, you track it?
Yep, when you do your contract tracing, they let us know where they've all been, so like if, say Winnebago would break out, we would know. Or, Larson's or,
Right.
yep. I did find it interesting as we were looking at the numbers this morning that the age group that it's hitting is the 18 to 40 right now. That was 51% of our cases for, 51% of our cases for the last 14 days. Or last month, excuse me, not 14 days, last month.
That group is by far the most social.
Yep. So.
Okay, anything else?
Not that, no, we have of course we have another meeting I'm always having meetings after yours, so maybe next week I'll have something new for you.
Okay, thank you.
So, alright, have a good day.
You too. All right, number 3, discussion regarding really wanna make my nephew mad, I call him a windmill mechanic instead of a turbine technician. Windmills.
Turbines, whatever.
Anybody in particular wanted that on there, or was it?
Did you want it on there, Mike? That's what the radio said.
I thought there might be somebody here, but guess not, so.
I mean, the points have been taken
Well,
and have been sent in, and
We're gonna have to address it sooner or later, I think, you know. I'm not sure if we want the concrete, I suppose we have to have concrete policy if we settle down.
but it has to go through the zoning
Right.
first.
Well, does it? Wouldn't we set the zoning and then they police it? I don't know, I would think we would set the zoning. We did for the Buffalo Center windmills. And then if somebody wants a variance, then.
When the application came.
Yeah, I know, but then when if someone wants a variance, then they go to the zoning board. I'm just discussing,
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the process was there. Do you remember what it was?
I think, we have to follow the, ordinance that's in place. And if you wanna change that, we'll have to redo that
I
ordinance.
didn't think we did an ordinance. I thought it was a special use permit.
Yeah,
it's a bill.
Cassuth is by ordinance, we are by special use permit.
And we have the power to change that for every situation that comes, if I remember right. That's why we did it that way, because it gives us more,
But I still think it goes through zoning.
There is a wind turbine ordinance, so
There's setbacks in place, at least for the last one. Whether it transfers to the next one is probably a question for Matt.
yeah.
Can you
I
contact,
just think we should get ahead of it instead of waiting for them to come to us.
yeah, can you contact Matt and see what the process would be if there was something to be changed compared to what we had last time?
Yeah.
I just know in that one bill that was passed, I didn't get on that call last Thursday. They've set how you're supposed to go forward with any changes like that, so.
yeah. Well, put it on the agenda for next week again, next week.
Get a report back from Matt,
Yeah.
or have him on the call or something.
Have him on the call or whatever.
He's supposed to be here either today or tomorrow, so we'll
Okay.
see what he,
Okay, we'll move on. Number 4, discussion of possible action resolution for suspension of tax sale.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
There's just a little information on it too. With the way the COVID's been running and the proclamations from the governor, it's been made that kind of difficult to do the tax sale because she had withheld that in June due to the proclamation. And so now that is all ended July 31st. So it will be up to, she's given it sole discretion to the treasurers when they can hold a tax sale. And this is just a resolution for August tax sale that I am not going to be holding it in August due to the fact that it doesn't give us enough time to publicize and get the notice out there to the public. And I will have to do this resolution every month until we decide to hold the tax sale.
What does that do for your bookwork?
It's gonna be a mess, because, you know, and it's for the investors too. We've got,
Yeah.
you know, everything used to run in June, so everything was finished by the calendar year. Well, now we've got the tax sale from June of 20 fiscal year coming into the 21 fiscal year. And some treasurers just said that for the investors and for the GovTech services to just wait and do it in June.
So is that retroactive when you actually have it then back to June?
Nope, it'll just be right from the day.
It will, okay. So
Yeah,
we're losing, investors are losing it.
but some of the investors are in agreement to wait till June and just everybody be doing the tax sale all at the same time. And then all the investors can pay one registration fee instead of paying the registration fee now and then again in June. Plus, it's kind of a hardship on the budget too, because I would have to advertise twice in 1 year for the tax sale. I did run a report on our delinquent tax, and I did send out delinquent letters to the customers earlier, so just to kind of give them a heads up and try to let them know, you know, that this money is due, and just kind of a reminder. And right now, our taxes that are delinquent, they're pretty good. The total for 2018 taxes that should have been collected in March, we were at $76,245. So that includes drainage and specials as well. And mobile homes. So I feel that we've got outstanding taxes out there, but it's not, when I first started with the delinquent letters, we were over 400 and some thousand. So we've collected quite a bit.
Are they getting a grace period?
They did,
They did. When did that end?
July 31st.
July 31st.
So your next letter can say the grace period has ended and
Yep, the next letter that will go out will be, if I continue to suspend the tax sale, they will get a delinquent notice in November.
Does that delay the penalties and interest then? No, okay.
It did up until
July 31st.
July 31st.
And just with us trying to get through tax billing and starting the new tax collection in September, it's pretty difficult to try to put a tax sale in there too. So I guess I'm just looking for your support in that and see what you guys think. And I worked with Blake on this resolution, and
Do we need to make a resolution or
Yep,
your
I-
office?
Yeah, we need to. make
I
that.
handed one to Bill there to read over, and
I'll make the motion to, pass a resolution for postponement of tax sale under Iowa Code Chapter 446 within Winnebago County.
Indefinitely?
We have to do it every month. don't we?
every month I have to come.
Yeah, sorry. I'll second that.
Motion Jenswell and second Stedsrud to postpone the tax sale. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So for every month, you gotta send a notice out,
Every month I gotta come down and see you guys and do a resolution,
but for.
but not to the people.
Okay.
Not until it's either November 1, the delinquent letters go out, or if I'm doing the tax sale, we'll be sending letters out either way.
Yep.
So what is your opinion on that? Do you think we should just hold off and have it in June?
Um,
Or should we try and get it in November?
would that be a technical nightmare to do it online, or couldn't you?
I did it online last year,
Is it?
yeah, and it worked pretty good. But the thing is,
It's up to you, I mean.
yeah, the thing is, the investors
Yeah, that's what I
and
was
how their
thinking of.
certificates will be coming due and,
And I guess, which do you think is better, just having the one, I suppose if you have just one sale, then you save on the advertising expense.
yeah,
But if you have the other one, you may force getting some of the money a little sooner, I suppose, if it's going to tax savings.
yeah, and that depends on how many investors are gonna be wanting to invest too at that time.
Do you have direction from the state? Could we move towards, notices in the paper that refer to the website only? So you don't have to print all that stuff in the paper? Just say like, tax sale, go to our,
Yep, I had that last year too, I had it on the website,
I know, but instead of printing it all in the paper, just a notice
I
saying, go to the website for information.
by law, we have to have it printed in the paper
Okay.
2 weeks before the tax sale.
With all the property descriptions and everything.
And I know I talked to AJ Taylor out at KOW, and he too had some suggestions about putting some things on their website. He said that's really becoming
Yeah.
a good spot for people to find out information.
I think there has been bills in the past that tried to change that, but haven't made it through.
Yeah, you've got to notify everybody.
Okay,
Well, hopefully we don't have very many left by November. I'd be okay with just waiting until next June.
Yep, because when we send the tax statements out this year, it will also state on there the delinquent tax as well. So they'll see outstanding taxes. So hopefully they'll pay them.
is it higher this year than normal, or about the same?
What the delinquent,
Yeah,
it's lower.
it's lower, that's
Mhm.
kind of interesting.
Mhm.
You would think with all this shutdown, and some people not working.
It's lower right now, but when I first started this, we were at 400 and some thousand.
And I suppose someone got they're responsible and paid it with their stimulus check or whatever.
Well, and like I said, I sent out earlier delinquent letters, just as a friendly reminder to let people know that this is due, and they didn't pay, so. And it's been hard for a lot of people without work and
Yeah, no, it's funny how that works. With
businesses.
money coming in, it's hard to let it go out.
Mhm.
Well, I guess
Did you sign that?
I signed it.
I can make copies and get that down to you, Carla. There's a place for you to sign.
I do need an original, so,
Yep, I will make copies.
but I need an
Let
original.
you talk right now, yeah.
Okay.
Those,
All the
Can I just leave it on your
only
desk?
politicians weren't getting
Yep.
their paycheck.
right.
And do you want something like this too? This is just a letter I gave to the board. Okay. All right,
And the teachers union and everybody else, nobody was getting the check.
can I just back you guys up to, what did you talk about, COVID again, or,
How the numbers work.
oh,
Didn't change anything.
okay. All right, thank you.
Never take very care. Okay, what is it, 75, 11, or 33? One of those days in November. I think.
Chris is 11.
Chris.
Yeah, 75.
Chris is DD 11. She's all
Hello?
about DD 11.
We're ready for you.
All right, I'll be right up.
Hey Dave, I've got your plans. I'm gonna get them back to you.
Okay.
From what I saw in there, there's references to shop drawings that are not in those plans.
Okay.
So I can get a hold of Rick and see if he has copies.
I'm working on something right now, but let me double check. Yeah,
But it
see.
says that contractors are supposed to work with each other and coordinate all that. Obviously, that failed.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, I shouldn't have talked to you so long last night, or yesterday. I'm getting a little late fixing that car. I got bound and determined I was gonna get it done. I finished it at 3 this morning.
Ouch! Holy smokes.
Maybe overhaul?
New radiator.
Well, that took me less time than it took me to change the headlight on my Malibu.
Oh, yeah, well, you gotta remove the front end for both. This is a Malibu also, but it's an older one. We can actually change the headlight bulb from the top side.
It's an
2004
old
Malibu.
project to put a headlight in.
You gotta remove the whole front end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's,
That's why Hannah couldn't get her headlight done herself. Because Hannah was trying to do her headlight, and she ended up taking it out to Todd Lewis because she couldn't get it fixed herself.
yeah, we're gonna pop a whole bunch of them ornery darn push in,
Yeah. Gotta have the special tool to get those out.
yeah. And even that doesn't work very good.
Well, she tried, so I'll give her that.
I'm relatively mechanically inclined, and I was looking at that same one you got, and I'm like, how do we do that? I couldn't
Hannah's
figure
got
it
a
out.
2010.
Yeah, they're all, his was same and mine was
2009.
9.
Okay, so about the same years then.
Yeah, and so I had to Google it. How to change the darn headlight bulb. I'm like, gee, this is getting bad. And then some Mexican fella did the video. He was they had red dirt wherever he was at, and after it's all done, he kind of fast forwards through some of the mundane stuff, you know, and all that. And after that, he goes, "It's as simple as that." There was a few engineering comments made. And,
Yeah, some of those engineers should be chastised.
well, I suppose they want you to pay their $100 an hour to get that changed too. That makes it open for them, dude.
Yeah, right here.
All right, good.
Brace of parts. My grandson backed into my retaining wall with a Ranger and broke the taillight. It's this big, $81.
Yeah.
Morning, Scott.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning. So our local crew was working on B9N bridge on the state line north of Rake, and that project is substantially complete. Last Friday, they set the pipe that crosses the road for DD11. The main tile that they buried, the 96, that the B&B had buried. We got our part across the road too, and got that blinded last Friday. So I expect they're putting that road back together now, and
Yeah, it's done.
so that's good progress on both of those two projects. So we just have one box and one smaller concrete pipe to put in, so I haven't heard schedules on those two yet. As far as our paving projects go, the latest is they're expecting to start in cold in place recycling from Scarville headed west on Monday. That date has moved a couple times, so we'll check in with them later in the week and see if that's how it goes, but they're supposed to be moving their mill to a staging yard up by Scarville. So that's a good sign that things are on schedule. I heard there's porta potties out too, kind of along the way. And we had a pre-construction meeting with Rognus Brothers on the 3 bridges that they have with us, and they plan to start down by Woden on that twin box week from, well, 13th, next week. They'll be there for 2 to 4 weeks, and then they'll move up to the 2 boxes north of Thompson. So all of a sudden, we'll be getting started on a whole lot of contract construction that'll keep us hopping. I think that's all I got.
Nothing.
Did you, get Neil done on a vehicle then for the mission?
We did. It's in the mechanic shop, kind of getting outfit with beacon light and radio and stuff. Yep, that all worked out and is in progress.
What color will that one be then?
Red. All the new ones will be red. That'll be good. It'll be ready and able to be used for construction, except for maybe a few days here on the front end. But he'll be kind of toting our UTV around too, to be able to get around on those construction jobs, and that'll work much better than the Trailblazer would have too.
Okay. Do these need to be stamped received?
Yes, please.
Gary.
This is Chris.
We're ready for you.
Okay, thanks.
See you guys later.
Oh, you don't want to
David.
stick around for drainage?
This is the best part,
Of what?
What
the
you know?
meeting, the whole day for that matter.
You know what's worse than drainage?
Nothing?
No, when you go to close the hood on the car you're working on and then you see a piece you should have put in before you put the front end.
Chris needs my chair.
Is it necessary, the bees?
I didn't have to take it all the way off. I know they should have bend things a little bit and get it stuffed in. Just a little thing for catching air.
Hi.
You got anything?
I don't.
Nothing? Anybody?
Do we know where they're gonna be taking the dirt from on DD 11?
I haven't heard.
DD 1 project?
I'll just see when either Rick or Derek come back and take a look at it.
I didn't have anything.
You okay?
If you get a chance to go by it out there, you'll have to go towards the DD 11 project, and look at that ditch. Pretty good view from the road now.
Over there, from the highway there?
Got the 6-foot flat bottom, completely dry. It's the last time you'll see it that way.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
That's amazing. I mean, 15, 12 foot in the ground and completely dry.
Yeah. There's water at the beginning of the pipe, and that's it.
Over there.
I think at least some groundwater would be sitting in there.
Especially since the tile's right next to it. I don't know, I thought they probably took the tile out, really. Thought the tile was right where the ditch is.
All
I
right.
knew it was dry, but I didn't know it was that dry.
Especially that area.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's.
And bridge for,
D
oh, I.
dash 9 dash N1.
And that's a bridge or a road?
That's the bridge.
Okay, so that's the one that's almost complete.
That's the one. Well, that is complete. It's on the state line north of Rake.
Okay, thank you. Just so the kids
You can proof that if you want.
probably should.
Let me know if you have any more questions.
All right.
Has Chris advertised for her position?
No. She said she's gonna wait till fall. We have lots of positions right now, the VA position, the victims coordinator position.
She get a full-time job somewhere, or just looking up?
The VA?
No, the regional coordinator.
I think she's busy with, she has a business up in the Mills, and then she also volunteers for the Crisis Intervention Center. So she's just got a lot going on.
Oh, that's right, she's got that business.
Mm-hmm.
So did you hear your name?
No. What
I
I,
just asked if you advertised for your position or not.
no, I have not yet. Hopefully this next week. But I did have something for open forum.
Okay, we'll go back to open forum.
Okay. I had an ISAC board meeting yesterday, and they were talking about that Governor Reynolds she has a press conference today at 11. She's gonna announce, how they're going to be allocating that $125 million for the state for COVID relief. And so it'd be good to watch that, but this is a preliminary estimate, but it looks like Winnebago County is gonna get $131,268. But it's very specific on how it's spent. So I'm sure she'll talk more about it today, but they said to really keep in close contact with like Andy.
So this is from FEMA funds then?
Part FEMA and part, or coronavirus relief. So looks like a lot of money would be paid for relief for public health employees, payroll costs for public safety employees, and payments for services dedicated to mitigating or responding to COVID-19 public health emergency.
Have we identified any needs?
I don't know. Have we?
We have some payroll stuff, but
Yeah. And then there's some deadlines to get this filed too, and the first deadline is like August 31st, and I know that they've been talking with the governor and saying that needs to be extended to September 30th, so. Because that's for the period March 1st to July 31st, and then there's another deadline, August 1st to September 30th. That would be September 30th deadline, which seems. This is all preliminary. I think she's going to announce things today at 11, so it'd be good to listen.
Did you you guys get the, notice on the, federal program that focuses transportation monies on rural? I'll have to forward that. I sent it to Scott. Sounds like there's a special earmark now in the transportation that focuses on rural needs because we've been passed over.
But has nothing to do with COVID, it's just finally,
It's just, yeah, mostly it's
This is
just,
just righting a wrong.
yeah, because it focuses on the rural part of it. It identified the increased need for rural infrastructure, that 40% of the failing roads are in the rural area. But yet we only get a small percentage of the money.
It's worse in Minnesota. Should hear a relative that lives in northern Minnesota. All those Minneapolis, St. Paul. And they have to go off-roading just to drive down their roads.
Well, thanks for the info.
Yeah, that's all I have, so just to listen today, I guess. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
I'll forward that to you guys. There's not a lot of details to it, but there's a application toolkit,
what fund is that coming out of?
transportation, federal highway.
Scott, Mr. Forgetting's here. You got that over there.
Which, sorry.
Okay. See you, man.
I'll do that. Seems like Minnesota's numbers for the emergency monies were much higher than Iowa. I'm sure part of it's due to population, it's like,
Yeah. Sometimes I think part of it is just knowing how to. Is it all really, or is it just things they say could be that, Because it seems, man, maybe it's because they're the highest population density too. It just seems like the places that are getting a lot of money.
so we're one of 99 counties and we're getting 0.1% of the monies. What's the population of Iowa?
3,400,000? 3,005,000?
What percentage of the population are we?
Our population's like 10,000,
They're estimated 10.5.
yeah.
We're 0.003. So
0.3%.
yeah, 3/10.
But yet we only get 0.1% of the money.
We're not supposed to look at things like that.
Shorter,
It's all for,
$260,000.
it's all for the children, just their children.
We should be able to put the money towards lost revenues and not have to
Yeah.
have spent it to,
Oh, that's another thing I was gonna ask you. Our sales tax numbers, What was our last,
From what I've heard
they're higher.
from different people though, is like Joel Gabrielson told somebody that we'll basically miss one of our quarterly payments.
Oh, okay, because Mitchell County was saying theirs was $10,000 higher this last time than it normally is. Now, you're missing the next one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look at that.
So, in other words, this money will be gone before we know what we're missing on
Mhm.
lost revenue.
Yep.
And they won't take an estimate.
Well, and that's what I don't understand is why there has to be such specific uses for this money and why you can't just go towards lost revenue versus all these expenditures that we may or may not have.
Curious where these big counties are gonna be getting all their costs at.
Well, and the other thing, when we were doing the election stuff, when we were talking about June primaries, the big counties could get a hold of stuff that I couldn't get a hold of, like disinfectant and different kinds of things like that. They were able to find places that they were able to purchase that stuff from, whereas I couldn't get it.
Oh, it's gonna be all mail-in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
No, you need to suspend the elections. It's too dangerous. Virus could be traveling all those mailed in ballots.
Well, the New York Times says they shouldn't even debate.
Yeah.
Secretary of State sending out absentee ballot requests again. Which is good.
I'm fine with that.
I am too. But the legislatures had to make sure it was their idea to send them and not the Secretary of State.
Yeah, you gotta get permission.
Uh-huh.
I like that, I don't know what the title was, that guy in, that doctor in Maryland, in Montgomery County, that declared that the schools, private schools couldn't open. He's a doctor and he's appointed, like, public health person. And he said, no, private schools can't open. Then the governor came in and says, no, you can't do that. If they meet the state guidelines for, they can open. In other words, you have to be an elected official to be able to make that determination.
Surprised the government wasn't going along with it. You said it was Maryland.
Maryland, yeah. Up in Minnesota, I think they're looking at that percentage for the trend. And Fremont County right now is at 11%. So that, and 10% was the threshold to be able to have it in person. So my wife's not sure if they're gonna meet the trend by the time they start or not. Well, maybe if it's a high trend now, it'll be going down by the time they get closer.
Hopefully. It's kinda crazy that it's August 4th and the high today is 73.
It was 49 this morning.
Now it's a lot more comfortable than 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Went up to Hayward, Wisconsin this weekend. Went
There's no
through,
snow up there.
Huh?
There's no snow up there.
the ice is off.
Oh, the ice is up, is it?
Anyway, go up there and, of course, last Wednesday, the governor mandated everybody wear masks by Saturday. It was Thursday that she did, the governor said
Wisconsin did
that.
it too.
So we get up there, and it's pretty much every restaurant and bar owner's like, and all the sheriffs are like, not my job to enforce that.
Yeah.
And that was on the news, that they were saying, it's not their job to enforce that. If a business has a problem with somebody not leaving because the business wanted them to wear a mask, then they would deal with it.
Yeah.
But they're not going into these businesses to determine if people are actually. But if you're eating, you're supposed to take it off, but you're supposed to wear it on the way in there. Same with the drinking.
Then, I mean,
It's pointless.
But, yeah, we went downtown Hayward and went from shop to shop, and you had to have your mask on. Inside, you take it off when you go outside. What a pain. I was at a bakery that you had to have an appointment to get into. You had to call and get an appointment to go into the bakery. So 3 guys were walking by the bakery reading the sign going, things are getting real weird again.
I can't wait for November 4th.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll claims.
Perfect. Motion Derby and second from Cinder to approve payroll claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Stand adjourned.